Why, hello there, and welcome back. So today we're going to be reviewing the Nintendo Wii. For those of you who don't know, the Wii was a 7th generation video game console made by Nintendo. It was the first video game console to use motion controls as its core gameplay, but yeah. Now, recently Nintendo has been kind of pushing the Wii to the side for its new console, the Wii U. So before the Wii goes kind of obsolete, I guess, we're going to be paying it one last tribute or something. To just kind of see its effect on the gaming industry and stuff. So I guess let's start. Category 1, design. So, sorry. So the design of the Wii is kind of bland, actually. This is the front. The game. This is where you put the discs and stuff. This is the power button, the reset button, and this right here is the eject button. The sides don't really have much. They're not really that interesting. Nothing much to see there. The back. This is where you would put your cords and stuff to plug it in, and those. Forgot what they're called, but there are those. I don't know what they're called, but those different colored cords that lets you see the visuals and stuff. So I guess that's kind of interesting. But the bottom, there really isn't anything there. The top, however, is probably one of the most interesting parts, because this is where you can use your backwards compatibility. Now, for those of you who don't know what backwards compatibility is, it's being able to play games of a different console on a different console, I guess. So these are the slots where you would put the GameCube controller, and right here is a GameCube memory card where you can just put it in. Right here. So for the design, there really isn't much to see. I'm gonna give it a 2.5 out of 5. So I'm gonna turn this over for some reasons, as you'll see next. And we have our second category, the games. Now, the games on the Wii U really weren't that great if they weren't first-party games. There were a few good third-party games, but most of them really just weren't that good if they're a third-party game. For those of you who don't know what first-party and third-party is, first-party is it's really only relevant to Nintendo, since they're the only video game company that makes both consoles and video games. But first-party games are games made by Nintendo on a Nintendo console. Third-party games are games made by a different company that are on a Nintendo console. Second party gets no love. It's kind of sad, actually. So, I'm just going to show you some of my favorite games. As you can see, they're all first-party games. First one is Super Paper Mario. I honestly think that Super Paper Mario is kind of underrated, just because a lot of fans of the Paper Mario series liked the original two better, and really didn't like Super Paper Mario, because the first two were turn-based RPGs, but Super Paper Mario was a mix between a platformer and an RPG, but I think it's a good game. You should check it out. So, the second game we have is... Wait, let me see. Okay, Super Mario Galaxy. Super Mario Galaxy is the sole successor to Super Mario Sunshine and Super Mario 64. I'll let you see the cover one more time. But really, Super Mario Galaxy is my favorite Mario platformer, and you really have to play it to understand why. It really blended motion controls with Mario, just really good. We're running a little late on time, so this is The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. That's a really good game you should check out. I prefer Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time, but Skyward Sword's a really good game. Donkey Kong Country Returns, a return to a classic franchise. I might review that game, just to explain a little more. And then Super Smash Bros. Brawl, my favorite of the Smash Bros. Franchise, because I honestly liked the character roster more, because it had characters like Sonic and Mario and the Pokemon Trainer and Pit for newcomers, and I just thought that was really nice. Those were some really good additions. So, on to our third category. Graphics. The graphics for the Wii were good, I guess, but they weren't. Well, let me explain this. See, Nintendo makes their own games and consoles, so their console are kind of met to the consoles they make are kind of met to the needs of their games. So there wasn't really how do I say this? The graphics weren't HD like the 360 and the PS3, which was kind of a bad decision on Nintendo. I don't play the games for the graphics, play them for the gameplay. But honestly, I just thought that was kind of a bad move, and that kind of put sales down a bit. But yeah, the graphics were cartoony, I guess. They were okay, but if I forgot to give the score for the games, let me say this. The games gets a 4 out of 5, and the graphics get a 3 out of 5. And so, our last category is its effect on the gaming industry. The Wii was pretty effective, actually, because it was the first console to use motion controls as its core gameplay, which was a kind of a risky move for Nintendo, but yeah, I think they did a pretty good job with that one. It influenced other, I guess, add-ons to the 360 and the PS3, the PlayStation Move and the Xbox Kinect. But I think the Wii is better just because it has more games, and the motion controls are more responsive. The gameplay was good, but on some games, but if the motion controls were bad, it was just overall not a good game. But yeah, its effect on the gaming industry was pretty good. So I'm gonna give that a 4 out of 5. And just a few more things on the gameplay. This is where you use the motion controls, the Wiimote, as it was. Make it flash. Oh yeah! But, and some people think the Wiimote kinda looks like, well, moving on. The gameplay was pretty good, if you can do it right. So I'm gonna give the gameplay a 3 out of 5. And overall, the console's rating is a 4.2 out of 10. I mean 5. So thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe.